Hello, and today we're going to talk about matter. Matter is everything that occupies a space and has mass. Mass is the amount of matter an object has. Mass has got weight. How can we prove this? Let's see. First of all, we measure the mass of objects using a scale, like this. For example, this book weighs 250 grams. Secondly, we can measure volume by putting this balloon into a scaled container with water in it. For example, the level of the water is currently 400 milliliters. If we want to measure the volume of this balloon, we can put it into the water and we see that the level of the water goes up. Now it's at over 600 milliliters. Now we'll see different properties of matter. For example, using our senses, we can discover properties such as color, smell, taste, shape, but there are also others. For example, hardness, the difficulty to scratch an object or put a hole in it. For example, if I want to scratch this golf ball, it's hard to do because it's very hard. But if I want to scratch this piece of chalk, or put a hole in it, it's very easy to do because it's a lot softer than the golf ball. Another example is elasticity, how much an object can be stretched and then go back to its original shape. For example, this big rubber band can be stretched and then go back on its own to its original shape. But then we have plastine, which if we stretch it or move it, it doesn't go back to its original shape. Therefore, it's not elastic. We can also see fragility, for example, how easily an object breaks. So we have a light bulb, which is in this bag so that we avoid getting glass everywhere. But a light bulb is very fragile because if you hit it on something hard, it breaks. We can also test the lightness of something or how heavy it is. So for example, this very light piece of aluminum doesn't really move the scale. But if we put this heavy thing on it, it's a lot heavier. So this is lighter. We can also test flexibility. Flexibility is if an object does not break when you bend it. For example, this book, when I bend it, it doesn't break, so it's flexible, as well as this cardboard, very flexible. We can also test flotation. Now, flotation is if an object sinks or not when you put it into water. For example, cork floats, wood floats, and this plastic bottle top also floats. So on. Now we'll show you about different mixtures. There are two different kinds, heterogeneous mixtures and homogeneous mixtures. Heterogeneous mixtures are those where we can easily see its different components. For example, this one we can see all of the different bottle tops. This is a heterogeneous mixture. And then there's a homogeneous mixture, which is this orange juice, where we cannot easily see or differentiate the components of the orange juice. For example, we can't see the juice versus the sugar versus the water. We can also separate these mixtures using different methods. For example, magnetism. Now I have a mixture here with sand and different nails, okay? And I can use a magnet to separate this mixture by going like so. And now I only have the nails here, and then I just have the sand down there. Another example of separating mixtures is sieving. We can use different sieves to separate this mixture of salt, rice, and chickpeas. So if we just pour the mixture, we can see that the big chickpeas are staying on top. The rice is falling through, and we have all the rice here. And then at the very bottom, we have all the salt, sieving. We can also use filtering to separate mixtures. For example, I can use coffee and put it in this container. And then if I pour water and mix the coffee with water, now we have a mixture of coffee and water, but then I can use this filter to separate the mixture. Now, even though the water is now a little darker, you can still see that up here the coffee grounds are staying, and it's only the water that's going through. And this is filtering. So we can also separate mixtures through evaporation. So into this container I have placed some water, some salt, and so that we can separate the mixtures, I had to heat up the water. So I lit the candle, as you can see, and put it in here, so that the water is heating up, right? And so then once the water heats up, it will evaporate, and we will be left with just salt. So I will have separated the water mixture from the salt. We find three different states of matter. For example, water is a liquid, this lighter is a solid, and then we're also creating gas in here as this water is evaporating. Solid, liquid, and gas. Now, these can also change between states, but I'm afraid that I don't have time to show you that today. So I hope you like this video, and don't forget to share it. Thank you very much.